Welcome back to Homeschool Life. I'm Paula, and one of the things I love about homeschooling is the community. And that's what we're here for. We're providing you a place to have a conversation where you can learn, a place where you can grow, where you can share and encourage each other through different topics such as curriculum and how-tos, tips and tricks, and day-to-day lifestyle and more. And so today, what I have for you, I'd like to share with you another curriculum review, and this one is about classical conversations. And so I don't know if you've ever heard of them or not, but they've been around for a number of years. They are a Christian company, started in 1977, and they are now worldwide. And they are very much based on homeschool community, as you will discover as I'm discussing here. So their mission is to teach you, the parents, and students the classical tools of learning, and to discover God's created order in the process and beauty, and enable others to do the same. So, in other words, to know God and make Him known. So these classical conversations is a leader in creating academically sound, systematic, and college prep materials. It's very high quality and very good, organized, highly organized curriculum. Easy to use, easy to follow. They're best known for three things, okay? They're known for classical, Christian, and community. So community, they very much teach you, it's a very family-oriented curriculum and style and method of teaching. Their families meet in local support groups. So when you first get started, you get a hold of them on their website and you find out where is your local support group. Now, within these local support groups, not only do you get all kinds of help and support and encouragement, because everybody else is teaching using the same curriculum that you are, the kids get to meet in small classes once and sometimes twice a week. So they get to experience a classroom atmosphere. And also, the parents have what is called a parents' practicum. And this is where parents are formally trained so that they can, basically they're learning alongside their kids as they guide them through the different curriculum subjects. So this is very much a home and some classroom-based curriculum. They have created this curriculum for all of your grades, preschool through grade 12, high school grade 12. The style is very classical and Christian. And so they teach the classical stages of learning. So the classical stages of learning are your grammar stage. So this is when your children are very young and they are just devouring those facts. They're just learning them like a sponge. And then the dialectic stage is when they're more closer to like middle school age. It can be a little bit earlier, a little bit later, depending on the maturity of each child. But this is where they're asking lots and lots of questions and really striving to understand, which leads to the rhetoric stage. Now, in the rhetoric stage, this is where they're assembling naturally all of this knowledge and they're able to apply it in their lives. They're able to see how everything works and fits together. So this mirrors the biblical stages of learning, knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. Classical Conversations is a mastery-based style of learning. So that means that your kids will learn and know and master different topics, different subjects within topics before they are going on. There's a lot of awesome repetition to help with that learning. And there's also memorization and reciting to help deepen that learning. And so this is great for all learning styles. Classical Conversations teaches the kids to learn essential facts on a chronological basis, so in order of how they have happened, and sequence, so that this builds up the education and makes more logical sense to the kids. So then, therefore, they retain this knowledge longer and they can do more with it. Now, within Classical Conversations, they have 4 levels of learning. So there are scribblers. The scribblers are those fun ages 3 to 8. And then there's foundations. Those are the ages of 4 to 12. Essentials is your ages 9 to 12. And the challenge stage is ages 12 and up. And so they have rotating cycles that keep the kids learning at their particular levels of maturity and age appropriately. And it's very family friendly because, as you can see, I hope you can kind of tell that all the grades are learning the same time period at the same time. They're just learning at their different spots that they need to be in. So classical education, if you're wondering, what does the word classical mean? Well, it is considered to be a timeless method of education and learning. It goes way back to the ancients, and it really involves the core values, learning those core values, and not just learning them, but learning how everything melds together, how everything is dependent upon each other. So for instance, where is God in math? Where is God in science? Where is God in language arts? And so they have written it into this so that children will naturally seek that out in other areas of their lives as well. Again, as I've said, there is memorizing and reciting as a method of learning. Logical thinking, there's a lot of teaching of how to think logically, and also persuasive rhetoric, which means being able to use speech as a form of communication and really convey your thoughts with some very solid foundations that you can stand on and explain yourself well so that other people can know and understand what it is you're trying to tell them or teach them. So all of these combined together with some other aspects is what classical education is all about. So I've got some products that I have pulled to show you because I'm very visual and I like to show you the different things so that you can learn more about classical conversations. You can see some of these products and then you can decide for yourself if this is a good fit for your family or not. If you're looking for a curriculum that is very community-based, where you can plug directly right into groups that are already doing this alongside others who are brand new at it just like you, this is a great option for you to consider. So one of the first things that I would like to show you is this little book called Classical Christian Education Made Approachable. So this was written a number of years ago, almost 10 years ago, and this is Classical Conversations answer to all of people's questions of what is classical education and why is it important, and what's the difference between modern education and classical education, and then how can you apply it. So it has very short little chapters. They have blueprints is what they say, so it's easy to follow along and understand. This is a great reference book, so you can read it all the way through, but then refer back to it as you need to for further understanding or as you get to different stages or somebody asks you a question that you're not quite sure the answer. This is a great little book, and as you can see, it's not difficult to read at all. So this is packed, it's small, but it's packed full of information for you. So let's get into some of the curriculum. Let's start with PreScripts. So this is part of their language arts, and I have grabbed many of these for you. So now you're going to get to see how they integrate the different subjects in amongst each other. So this is a handwriting curriculum. All of these books are. So this one is cursive letters and coloring, world history. So as the kids are practicing their letters and their numbers, and they're learning how to write very neatly, very legibly, very beautifully, they're also coloring different pages and they're learning about history along the way. And so this is how this particular book has been integrating history and handwriting. Let's take a look at another one. Here is PreScripts, cursive words and drawing, scripture. And so this one opens up this way. And again, as they're learning, they're writing sentences that are different scriptures. So then they can start memorizing some of those. They have color pages. And so it's involving more than just plain old copy work. There's no fluff in this. There's always something to learn. And I love that about classical conversations. Here is cursive letters and coloring medieval to modern world history. I'm going to flip through this one and maybe one more, and then I'll just read titles to you. And so this has some little activities to it. And it's got the nice directional arrows. And again, they're learning about, in this one, history as well as handwriting. Now let's look really quick at these other titles. This one is ancient history and handwriting, and it's art lessons also. This one is American history and handwriting again, and art lessons. This one is math terms. Let's take a look at it and see what they've done in here. Cursive words and drawing and math terms. So again, here's their handwriting sentences, has to do with decimal numbers on that page. Height measurements. So they're practicing their handwriting, but they're learning their math. They're reinforcing their math as well. This one is medieval to modern world history. Oops, I had that upside down. American documents. So they're going to study and learn and copy directly from some of the original documents to practice their handwriting. Notice how this handwriting has gotten smaller, for this would be used for your older ages. And poetry. This one is on poetry. So these are for all grades, preschool through 12th grade, so that they are just continually practicing that art and the essential learning of writing legibly so other people can read what you are writing in your written communication for the rest of your life. So let me put these back. Okay, next we're going to talk about their classical acts and facts cards. These are for grades kindergarten through 6th grade, and these are awesome. These are high quality cards. So I grabbed the history and science ones, and there are actually 2 other subjects as well. So here is the history ones. I have grabbed medieval world and new world and modern world and ancient world. And I'll pull a couple of these out for you. These are very high quality, sturdy cards. And these are color coded to use with the different cycles. So they're going to use this. This is the Flood and the Tower of Babel. Let me show you on the back. You can see they're going to learn and study and review key concepts, worldwide events and people, including biblical. So with the history ones, there's a set of 7 color-coded time periods. I almost didn't get that all out. Here's another card. So it's not just about places and times, but it's about people as well. So this is Caesar Augustus. On the back, you've got a timeline, and then you've got essential facts. And so they can use these to learn from, and they can use these to review. They can study from these, and these are nice, sturdy cards, so they can use these over and over. Now the science ones, I have grabbed ecology, astronomy, and physics. Cycle 1's living on the planet, biology and earth science. Seeking to know famous scientists, so these are all just about the different scientists. And then anatomy, chemistry, and origins. And these are color-coded as well. Here is the nervous system, the body, and then it says what are 3 parts of the nervous system, and it explains that. And then here is a chemistry card about atoms. And again, it asks what are the parts of the atom, and it gives the key facts. And then here is the scientific method, a way to solve a problem. And on the back it says what is the scientific method, and again gives those facts. So that they can review and they can study these, and this goes right along with all of their other subjects as well. So that they're really learning how everything is really integrated together and not taught separate as modern education does. Okay, next we have these really neat, very simple but very effective flashcards. So I grabbed the multiplication one and the addition. This uses the commutative law, And so here is the two different ways to add up 19. Flip it over and you've got two more ways now to add up the number 11. And here's another one, 18 and 26. And the answers are on the back side in the corner. So these are great for them for studying those facts and for learning them. And for those kids who are visual or kinesthetic, this is great for. But it is also good for those who are auditory because they will say them out loud as well. Now another thing they've come up with, and this is so fun, quick flip arithmetic using just a basic deck of cards. So through this, they're going to learn addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, advanced equations, exponents, and roots, and just practice them. Simple 2-page games. It gives you what the goal is. It gives you how to start, examples, practice, and then a couple of variations, and then goals to set, tips and tricks, and then just having fun, finding patterns and such. And so that's all it is. Each one is 1 to 2 pages, and it's just all these different games that your kids can play using a deck of cards to reinforce their math that they're learning. Okay, next we're going to talk about the trivium tables. Now these are really neat as well because these are designed, these are nice, laminated, thick, and so these are designed to sit up, and so they can study them sitting up. They are reference charts. I've grabbed English grammar, I've grabbed Latin, and then I've also grabbed out here geography. And so this one you can use a dry erase marker with, and it covers all the continents of the world. Some of these maps are partially filled out and some are completely blank. And so your kids can fill them out with those dry erase markers. They can check off the things that they're supposed to be studying and learning, and then erase it and use it all over again. So this is a great tool to have, a resource to have in your home that you can use with all ages of your kids. And I like how it folds very nice and flat too, fits great in a 3-ring binder and a pocket folder, and it can sit on your shelf and not take up much space at all, so you just pull it out when they're using it and then put it away when they're not. And it's saving you a lot of time and space and money because you can use the dry erase markers with it as well. Words aptly spoken. This is the literature that also goes along with the handwriting. That also goes along with the science and the math. You're getting my drift here. So Words Aptly Spoken is a series of books. These are language arts books for grades 7 through 12. So they rely on you using the classics and documents. So you're getting like real sources to use. So there's going to be sections that they will read, and then there will be questions to answer. There will be discussion questions as well, and then there will be written assignments as well. There's going to be reviews, and there's going to be thought questions. So again, teaching them to think logically and think for themselves and think based off of facts. So this is the children's literature volume, and so this covers note-taking. It also teaches note-taking, writing chapter summaries, creating timelines, character charts, glossaries, maps, covers many different genres and themes. Some of the books will be using The Magician's Nephew, The Bronze Bow, The Secret Garden, Where the Red Fern Grows, The Phantom Tollbooth. So those are just some of them. And then short stories is for grades 7 and up. They're going to learn about plot and theme and surprise endings and character development and mood and point of view. They're going to read things like The Good Samaritan, The Teapot, Rikki Tikki Tavi, The Mansion, The Man and the Snake, The Telltale Heart, The Nightingale and the Rose. So again, they're going to read a lot of great classics here. American Documents is for grades 9 through 11. This can be used also as part of literature and government. They're going to read speeches and poetry and articles and essays and legal documents. And there will be some brief writing assignments in this as well. They're going to read things like the Monroe Doctrine, A House Divided, War Message, Pearl Harbor Address, Valley Forge, Liberty for All. So again, great timeless classics. Now they're going to get into British literature. So this is for grades 9 through 12, and they're going to be reading materials separately. There will be writing assignments and some research. They're going to study sentence patterns and source citations and analyzing influences, comparison contrast, and identifying critical lens of each author. They're going to read Beowulf and The Pilgrim's Progress and Jane Eyre and Robinson Crusoe and The Hobbit. Just to name a few. I'm not naming off all of the books and sources that they will read for each of these. And the last one is American literature. Again, for your grades 9 through 11. This is going to give them some more poetry, short stories, sermons, and plays, plus complete books. They're going to develop critical thinking skills, reading skills, increase their vocabulary, discover plots and themes and characters again. They're going to do 4 different types of essay writing: book reports, book critiques, character sketches, and critical essays. And with American literature titles, they're going to read A Model of Christian Charity, Paul Revere's Ride, The Call of the Wild, Through the Gates of Splendor, Walden, The Old Man and the Sea. So they're going to read some really great works that you're going to want to read right along with them because they are just so great to read. So, this book, Exploring the World Through Cartography. So this is a great book for geography. This covers all the continents. Look at that, I just happened to open on one of them. Great, high quality color, pictures, maps. This is for your grades 7 through 12. We've got blank maps and regular maps, and then we go into Europe. This is a hardcover book, and so this is going to last for years and years. Gives you lots of great facts about each of the different continents. I love that old world map there. And you can see the different kinds of maps too. Satellite maps and physical maps and political maps. So this covers and is used in history, art, geography, and culture. Again, the physical and political maps, as well as blank outline maps, historical facts and photos, and there is some research involved in this and questions again for discussion, because as they talk, as they write, as they memorize, they are learning how to communicate in very effective ways and very logically as well. Now, I'll finish off with mentioning that Latin is a core subject with classical education, and classical conversations is no different. So kids start learning Latin when they are in kindergarten using several different sources. Classical Conversations does not write entirely all of their curriculum, but they use within their method of learning and method of teaching others as well. And so one of those is this Latin book here. This is the first year Latin book, and this is Henley's Latin. This again has been around for years and years and is a classic as well. And they're going to use the grammar book, Latin Year 1 and 2, and so forth. And they're going to use the study guides that go along with these as well. One of the core beliefs of classical education is learning all the subjects and learning the origins of language within all of those. And another source that they use is our mother tongue. And so in learning this, then they also can learn Latin, and they can learn Greek, and they can learn Hebrew, and they can learn Spanish and French and any other language that they want, because they understand the core of their own American English language. And so that is another source that they use. And there's many more as well. So I think that covers everything that I was going to tell you about Classical Conversations. I'm very impressed with their curriculum. I know that people that start using it really love it. They love getting in with those communities and getting to know those families. And, you know, they get together and they do school, but they also get together and have cookouts and family birthdays, and it just becomes like an extended family. I know a lot of people who have started with Classical Conversations and just finished all the way through to graduation, which Classical Conversations also offers graduation ceremonies for your homeschool students as well. So I hope that that was helpful for you and that you've learned something new about Classical Conversations. If you are a veteran user of Classical Conversations and I've left out something that you think others would like to know, please share in the comments so that we can all learn and grow together. Again, you can check out Mardel.com for any of these products and others as well. And you can check out our blog for homeschool articles and other lifestyle articles as well. Thank you for watching, and have a great day and enjoy your homeschool life. Bye for now.